Hi, everyone, and welcome to my talk, Why and How Not to Be a Gatekeeper. And my name is Lina Zubyte. Currently, I work at Doodle as their head of quality. I like to call myself quality advocate. I have a website where I post my writings. It's called Quality Bits. Check it out. And you can follow me on Twitter as Bagilina. So why did I choose this topic? Well, because I think very often we have a misunderstanding about the role of tester. We think that we are the stamp of approval. However, I'd like to encourage us to let go of this belief. And today I'll give also 3 tips on how to improve our communication and instead be an informant, because that's our role in a sense, to give feedback about the products we work on. So we may have heard this before, we may have been that before, we may have said, you shall not pass, I say this build is no good and we should not release it. It's all right to provide this information and it's valid. However, this role can add lots of frustration to you, to your team as well. So having it does not help us as much to see quality accountability as we feel it is. I really like the concept of being an informant instead of a gatekeeper. And I added here a picture of a little fairy because it reminds me of a wonderful person from testing community, Marit, who calls herself the feedback fairy. I think it's a beautiful way to put our profession in it, because when we say we're just providing feedback, we're not quality assurers. We're basically just people who have more information about the state of the product, who are willing to communicate it. And very often feedback helps us to build better products. So how can we do it? Are there 3 things that could help us out? So before we get to the tips, I want to just say that seeing your role as an informant rather than gatekeeper helps in sharing responsibility and quality accountability and creates a more positive and supportive collaborative work environment where you can teach others how to do testing, as well as you're not blamed for all of it. You're not supposed to be the one and only person saving the day, and the hero's concept is great. However, it's not feasible, and we're humans, we do mistakes, and only working together we can create very good products. So how to transform then our role from gatekeeper to informant, and how to use some helpers to become better informants. So I have 3 tips. Let's get to the first one. Use your crystal ball. What do I mean with it? I mean that gathering information, being a tester, you are already seeing the future in a sense. For example, you're running a load test and you know that under a certain load, your product is going to crash. Right now, maybe the load is not that way, but in a month it will be. So this is your crystal ball, so you have to use it wisely as well and to communicate. You know the risks. Over-communicate them. An important fact is also to learn the language that different people can understand. What matters to them? Illustrate the risks with the concepts they know about. If you're talking to a product manager, maybe you should talk more about product features, the KPIs that you have, rather than, oh, I feel this is really bad. And share high-level quality summary on a regular basis. It can help a lot in the company. If you just send maybe a short newsletter saying, this is the heads up on what are the risks, what are the information sources that we got from testing, and how we could avoid it. So people should be aware what's happening. Try to remove a bit of your feelings and your subjective opinion from here. And a very good second tip that can help you to do that is utilizing data. A lot of us Likely every single one of us have felt like, oh no, our issue is not being fixed. The bugs we report, they're just sitting in the backlog. However, I would also question if you're promoting it enough. Did you do everything to make that bug report stand out? Did you add all the information? Do you understand why it's important? Do others understand why it's important? So when you advocate for issues, add weight on the issues, the impact they're causing by gathering data. You can work with support or data teams to get it. Have a tight collaboration with them. When you say that 100% of users face this issue, and this causes, let's say, 10,000 euros loss per month, that's much more powerful than saying, oh, I feel that's very important. It's also very easy to get upset that something is not fixed, but maybe others just don't know how important it is. Maybe you don't know how important it is. It could be that you are thinking it's very important, but it's not. So use data for more objectiveness. Learning more about the numbers and how many people are facing it can help you a lot. And remember to recheck your own biases when you gather data. It can help you a lot. And it will help as well with raising awareness and communicating better to others. It's easier to understand certain KPIs being damaged or how many customers are facing it than, oh yeah, this API request returns something that we don't expect, and I think it's bad. Use the power of value. What is actually happening when this bug is in place? And lastly, stay humble. The thing is that as QAs, we may have some frustrations, especially because of bugs not being fixed, or we feel not appreciated. However, we can be much better at our jobs as well if we use these tips, if we actually communicate much better, and if we are using data to support us. We can see our role as feedback providers. When we do that, then we can let go of all this, oh, I'm the stamp of approval person. Admit you do mistakes and share knowledge on testing, but embrace that you may miss something. It's okay that you may miss something, and don't see yourself as the king or queen of testing. And let go of the stamp of approval. The more people test, the better, the more diverse feedback you get. The product becomes better, the more feedback we have. So involve others. You're not the solo person that could be testing. So help them to learn about it so that you gather even more feedback about the product. And be grateful for pointed out mistakes. If someone says that, hey, this was not found, accept it. Say, great, thank you so much that you reported it. And also be graceful while pointing out mistakes. As we said, try to make your bug reports very nicely put with data and objectiveness rather than subjective feelings. So there's a saying, testers don't win popularity contests. I'd like to encourage you to make that saying false. If you become an informant rather than a gatekeeper, you're leaving your crown away and you're just helping the team build a higher quality product. And this can be so much appreciated. Your team will love working with you because there's such a shift of mindset that makes a huge difference. Thank you so much. And if you want to connect with me, find me on Twitter or check out my website. Thank you.